On the seasonal note, one of the things that you said I want to talk to you a little bit more about, because like we talked about at the start of the show, Blue Protocol, more and more battle passes, more and more that seems to be kind of what MMOs are working to adopt. Wayfinder at PAX East, they talked about how they're doing their seasonal model, and their seasonal model is based off of exactly what you said. What if you could only buy the season during the season? And that makes sense from a sales perspective.
If you have to have FOMO.
Would you want to see New World like follow suit? Like, having, not yet seen a battle pass added into New World, would you want to see that to become the standard model in terms of is that the right amount of FOMO?
Yeah, I think it's a nice compromise. So the idea is moving it from a literal FOMO, the fear of literally missing out, to a vaulting. So what you say is we are going to sell, like when Disney sells a movie out of their vault, you buy that movie, and then when it goes back into the vault and it's no longer for sale, you still own your movie. So what you're saying is effectively the same thing with season passes. This season pass will be for sale during this 3-month period. And if you buy it on the first day or the last day, it doesn't matter. That content will be yours to consume at your own pace. So if you buy it with 1 day to go and it takes you 6 months to get through the content that progresses it, it is yours, and all the rewards and whatever loot comes with it. And that's yours to have. And I think that's really fair, as opposed to this idea of I have to decide at the beginning of the season if I'm going to be able to play enough to finish it, or else it expires. So it's there's a weird FOMO on the FOMO on the FOMO. Mm-hmm. So I think the vaulting is, in my mind, the next logical iteration. It doesn't mean it's perfect. In a perfect world, everybody would just have what they wanted and we wouldn't have to worry about money. But it pays homage to the fact that FOMO works. They're going to use FOMO. So it says, I respect that companies need to make money and that this is a wildly effective tool to make money. And I'm just going to admit that exists in the world, and I'm just going to move on with my life. Now, how do we do that in the way that is the least predatory? And that starts to say, when you own something, it's yours. You're not buying a pass to something. You're buying an experience. And if that experience takes you at 2 hours a week, it takes you 10 weeks. Or if you play 20 hours the first week, you're done. That's fine. Play at your own pace. It starts to be a lot closer to buying food that doesn't expire. So if you want to buy Spam in 2001 or you want to buy Spam in 2023, it doesn't matter. You could eat both cans tomorrow. It's your call.
It's your call.
So I think season passes could operate more like that. And then it also gives them the ability to bring old season passes back. Yeah. And so if we're in season 10 and they say, hey, season 10 is about Shadow and Assassins or whatever, then you can say, hey, we've grouped together 1, 3, and 8, which were also about Assassins, and those are available for a bundle. And if you already own 2 of those, we'll actually break that out into a per unit price. So if you just buy the bundle, it will complete the ones you own, and you can now complete the set. And if they want to make some extra mount skin or something, if you complete all 4 seasons, they can even incentivize that. Yeah. It starts to make that legacy content that can be brought back. It's done so in a way that doesn't punish anybody for having bought or not having bought it in the past. It just says hey, here's the price for now. This is when it's on sale. When that ends, it ends. And we're not going to take it away just because it ended that. I don't know. I find that wildly frustrating that I can only buy a concert t-shirt during that concert tour, but then when the tour ends, you take the t-shirt away. You didn't wear it enough times, so you don't get to keep it. Why?
Would you want to see subscription-based MMOs like Final Fantasy 14 and WoW shift to this kind of model with essentially the season pass where you buy it and you own it, even if they had that level of FOMO?
No. I don't like when companies shift monetization at all. There are times it has to happen. That's a reality. But right. In a perfect world, assuming it doesn't have to happen, I think that when you release a game under a monetization structure, that's an agreement, right? And so you are a restaurant and you've decided to open up as a buffet restaurant or a fixed menu restaurant where you pay one price and you get a very specified menu, or a seasonal restaurant or a pay a la carte restaurant, mm-hmm. and you have picked your method. And what I don't want is I've gone to Taco Bell 27 times and then the next time I go, the price model changes. And I'm like, man, I'm going to get 3 tacos. And then I get to the front and I'm like, okay, I want to pay 3 tacos. And they're like, well, have you paid for our seasonal access to our taco menu? No, I'm just going to walk out. No, I don't want anything to do with that. especially in this case where like you've invested in a character. The idea that I invest thousands of hours into a game that by its very nature, I've agreed with their monetization model. Whether or not everybody has, doesn't matter. I have a character in Final Fantasy XIV with thousands of hours because it's a monetization model I agreed to. And if they change that monetization model, I don't get to reevaluate the relationship and say, well, I'm just going to take my Warrior of Light somewhere else. No, my Warrior of Light is now locked behind like some other method, and I lose access to my thousands of hours.
Would you want to see, like when we talked about yesterday's show, Square Enix's next MMO or something like that nature? Would you want them to go with this kind of model?
Like, oh, with the next MMO?
Yeah. So whole new business, you know, whole like, hey, new character, new story, new game, etc. Is that the model that you feel like is going to be the dominating model for the genre?
Yeah, I think if you opened up a big 5-star restaurant and you say, man, what the world needs is another fast food chain, and you say, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make a new model, and we're going to have a different quality of food available to a different type of customer. You know, the dining experience is no longer 55 minutes. It's now 3 minutes, limited menu, meant to be served out to people's cars. Like, that's fair. That's very, very fair. It doesn't bother me that, like, and actually there's something really interesting about, like, I wonder what a 5-star restaurant chain would bring to the fast food space. So something even kind of exciting about Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft saying, we're going to come out with a different style of game as an idea.